What's your best fire me I freaking dare you moment from work? I was the only bus driver in our small town with a commercial license for the fancy new electric school buses. The district had spent nearly $4 million on a fleet of 12 cutting-edge buses complete with Wi-Fi air conditioning and all the latest safety features. But in their infinite wisdom they decided to cheap out on driver training. I'd been driving buses for almost 15 years. I'd seen my share of close calls over the years, which is exactly why I took my time on routes. One winter morning back in 2018, I nearly hit a kid who darted out between parked cars, missed him by inches. After that day, I vowed I'd never rush a road again. The new transportation director, Mr. Jenkins, was fresh out of some business school, and had clearly never driven anything bigger than his BMW. He'd been writing me for months about being too cautious and taking too long on my routes. According to his precious spreadsheets, I was consistently 12-15 minutes over schedule every morning and afternoon. The GPS tracker shows you're stopping completely at every railroad crossing. He complained once during my performance review, that's excessive. When there's no train, it's actually the law. I replied, commercial drivers have to stop at all railroad crossings. He'd roll his eyes dramatically. Well, none of the other drivers take this long. That's because half of them were cutting corners and we all knew it, but they had regular Class C licenses that were grandfathered, and I was the only one who'd gone through the specialized certification program for the new electric fleet, which included additional safety protocols. Every staff meeting, Jenkins would pull up his route efficiency charts, and my name would be at the bottom. He'd make these little jokes saying I drove like someone's grandma, or asking if I stopped for coffee and donuts along the way. The other drivers would chuckle nervously, knowing they could be next on his hit list. But the real breaking point came one rainy Monday morning in October. I was running a few minutes behind because visibility was terrible, and the roads were slick. Jenkins was waiting when I pulled into the depot after my morning route, standing under an umbrella with that pinched look on his face that meant trouble. He ambushed me right there in front of the other drivers who were coming in from their routes. These routes should take 45 minutes, not an hour. And 5 minutes, he snapped, not even bothering to lower his voice. Either you speed up, or we'll find someone who will. This isn't a sightseeing tour, Johnson. Something inside me just snapped. I calmly removed my safety vest, unclipped my ID badge, reached into my pocket for my keys, and dropped the whole bundle onto his clipboard with a satisfying clatter. What do you think you're doing? He sputtered. I smiled, feeling strangely peaceful. I'm the only driver certified on these electric buses, and there's a reason I drive carefully. I've got 47 kids' lives in my hands every morning, and their parents trust me to get them to school safely. His face went from angry red to pale white as he realized what was happening. You can't just, he started. I've got 3 weeks of vacation saved up. I continued, since I haven't taken a day off in 2 years, I'll be taking all of it starting right now. When I come back, either you back off about my safety protocols, or you can explain to the school board why their $1 million buses are sitting unused in the garage. Oh, and you might want to prepare your explanation for the parents of 500 kids who suddenly have no way to get to school. I turned and walked toward my car in the employee lot. I could hear him calling after me, his voice shifting from commanding to something closer to panic. Johnson, get back here, you can't just leave. But I kept walking, got in my car, and drove home. By 10 a.m. my phone was blowing up with texts from the other drivers. Apparently Jenkins was running around like a headless chicken trying to figure out how to cover my routes. By noon, the superintendent herself called. We need to discuss this situation, she said carefully. What followed was remarkable: a 15% raise, a formal apology from Jenkins in writing, and a promise that I could run my routes according to my safety standards without interference.